broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Woo! Welcome, AfterBuzz fans. We are back with another episode of Into the Badlands. Love that intro music.
Yeah, this is great. So epic.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm your host, JB Zimmerman. You can follow me at HeyJB. Sorry, Hey John Blake. I just changed mine to that.
Oh, new handle.
New handle, yeah. Trying it on for size.
That's nice, man.
It's
good
nice.
Change.
Feels good.
All right.
Where can the fans find you?
You can find me on Twitter at MGCVSST.
And I'm Taylor Boldt. You can find me on Twitter at Tayboldt. That's TayBoldt, or on Instagram at Tboldt, also BOLDT.
Awesome. Alexis in the booth. Where can they find you?
Hey, you can find me all over social media as ATorres890. I want to talk about this episode.
I know.
Me too.
Wait, first, shout out to how cool that cinema background thing
thank you.
you wrapped into. Excellent framing. Excellent framing. I wish they had that on Instagram.
That was very nice. I didn't even notice it first.
Here, guys.
But yes, this is episode 4. 2 tigers subdue dragons. Killer titles.
Yeah, I love
every
these
time.
super,
Every
very
time.
Chinese,
Yeah,
incredible.
it's
the last one was the white stork, and this is
Right.
tigers and dragons and all this symbolism. Because I feel like we're gonna figure out what those things symbolize. I mean, some of them are sort of straightforward.
Right.
But I have a feeling it it very much corresponds to. My hypothesis is that it corresponds directly to the different baronships and stuff, and not so much to the. Yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Yeah, no, I mean for this episode title in particular, or just in general each time.
In general,
Okay.
I think we had Aramis on last week, and Aramis sort of mentioned that he thinks
huge
that,
shout out to Aramis Knight for coming on next.
Oh, it was an awesome
That was
show.
awesome.
We
He
had
said
so
it was
much
pretty
fun.
metaphorical, so.
Yeah. It'd be hard
to.
to title something 2 tigers subdue dragons, or like the last episode with the storks.
Where's the tiger?
Without
where I saw that.
Without being metaphorical,
Yeah.
Right.
you know?
Yeah, that's deep.
Or
It's gotta
very
be.
big production budget to
Right.
have a dragon in your episode.
Excuse me.
JB, what are you doing? He's such a rock star. He has to have his
Continue.
phone on.
Yeah, but I think he might be the white stork, and then in this episode we have tigers and dragons. I want to know what all of the I want more animal creatures to
No,
subdue
exactly. I mean, I
other
think
animal creatures.
I think they definitely correspond to something going on in the episode. This one, I would love everybody to think about what it may mean, because obviously there's two tigers, which are very specific, versus the dragon. So on the flip side, maybe we can talk about at the end of our recap what we think.
That sounds good.
We'll come back to it just so that we
marinate
can,
on
no
it.
spoilers.
Marinate. Fans, you too. I'd love to hear your
Simmer on
theories.
it.
Sort of, obviously, chime in anytime. Right now, as we do the show live, but throughout into the next episode. So let's get started. Tilda running through the woods, covered in blood.
Did anyone else think this was a flashback?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a very Tarantino moment for me.
Yeah,
Totally agree with you.
It seemed like a flashback, so I was kind of like, is this happening? Is this how we're going to find out
Right.
how Tilda met the widow and how this all happened? And then
Right.
it was happening in real time.
I didn't get the flashback thing at all. I thought it was real time for sure.
No, I now that you say that, I totally know where you're coming from. I don't know. I feel like had there been the only thing if there was some haze, I would have thought flashback right away. But I actually didn't even recognize
Or
it was
a filter. I mean, that definitely would add
some
up,
sepia
though,
tones
yeah, exactly.
would make me think, flashback.
A black and white scene, perhaps.
Stylize it a bit.
Definitely. I think it could fit there, because that's sort of how I envision her finding the widow in the first place.
Right.
It must have been a very traumatic situation.
Well, I mean, she talks about it later on in the episode, though.
Right.
How I guess it kind of their current situation came to be.
Exactly. Plus, I feel like she's so well trained for her to be, a similar age in the beginning, it wouldn't give her a lot of time to get, to hone her skills with the widow.
Unless she was just a natural, man.
She could be.
I
She could be
guess.
just a born ninja star.
I'm wondering
I
if
don't know.
there's any more people out there who have the same sort of blood power thing that Aramis's character has, that MK has.
One would think so,
If they
unless
can
he's
develop
just,
it.
Yeah.
Because I think that if anyone can develop that power, it might be Tilda. You know what I mean? But I think this is probably not this season. This is a lot of speculation.
Right.
I'll save
I don't
the
think so.
predictions.
I don't know if you can just find it or like.
I think it's in you.
Read a potion.
Yeah,
You know?
but
he's the chosen one.
he could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like
Otherwise, the widow
Neo
would
of
go
the
after
Badlands.
someone else too. She'd be like, "Well, there's this guy in this section, or this guy in this faction." So like, there's only one really that I think.
Yeah, but I also don't know if the widow. I wouldn't be surprised if the widow doesn't know. Like we think right now, or at least I do as an audience member. I think like, wow, this woman knows exactly what's going on, and I wouldn't be shocked at this point in the series if she just like had encountered it, but actually doesn't know the full depth of what she's like. She doesn't know the actual threat of this weapon.
Right.
She's just like, oh, I can weaponize this.
Right. It's very interesting that she seems to know more about this than anybody else. I mean, people have the wanted posters. People have heard.
Everybody wants him
heard
for some
a little,
reason.
Yeah, hearsay like he's a wanted man.
Well,
That much is clear.
And we
But yeah.
learned that he's very wanted. Actually, I don't want to skip ahead too much, but I'm skipping ahead sort of
Totally.
all of it. But we actually figure out that he has a little wanted poster, and we'll get into the actual sort
Right.
of ethical dilemma that
Yeah,
puts
that's
Sonny into.
super intense. I mean, that happens obviously at the end, which we'll get to. First, we need to have the whole quest. Of getting
Exactly.
there.
So
So
it was an action-packed episode. A lot
oh man,
happened.
it was jam-packed.
Yeah.
I loved it.
These episodes move so fast, and it has great pace because you're never like, oh, this is like downtime. I feel like downtime are some of the conversations, but all these conversations are
Right.
charged with so much action in them, and just the language that they use, and just what's going on in the conversations. It's really good. I think the pacing's
there were some
amazing.
monumentally intense scenes, just talking scenes. I mean, obviously,
Right.
the widow talking to this guy before she axes his head off, intense for a different reason.
Right.
But
I didn't even really realize. I didn't realize until like the next scene that she's framing. Oh, it's so perfect. The setup
Yeah.
and everything.
I had that same feeling. I was like, when she says like, why did we set up Quinn? And I'm like, oh, they were setting him
Right.
up. Yeah, I
was
didn't
like,
realize that.
it's
Right.
weird of the widow to lose her cool like that and axe this guy in the face. And I was like, oh, she had a bigger plan. But I would like to back up just right before that in the scene. I was flipping out with those just perfectly placed little butterfly throwing stars that
Yeah,
just
just
glide
slice the
across
neck.
people's throats.
Oh, man.
That might have been like one of the coolest
Super
effects I've
badass
seen
way to
so
kill
far.
They're pros, They're
Yeah.
pros.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely pros. But yeah, I don't know. What a good scene. And then we figure out that she's setting up Quinn so that Jacoby and all of his clippers, his Baron force, think that Quinn has been, and I'm guessing Jacoby is like the Baron of gold supplies. Is that the deal? But he
Right.
attacked
Of
their
the
gold
coins,
supply.
at least.
Yeah.
Of minting them, maybe mining and/or minting. Who knows?
He's
we will see.
He's an accountant.
Yeah, basically, he's a money man. He's a numbers and figures kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean that scene again. We accomplished so much in such a short period of time because it is sort of a double setup, even
Right.
more, like a triple as we learn later.
Because we figure out
there's
that-
so much backstabbing going on.
There's a lot, and the coins that she took from
that
from that
from killing
robbery,
them, yeah.
she uses
To get the
later,
cogs,
yeah,
to
to
get
pay
Quinn's
off
cogs.
Quinn's cogs. So now all of a sudden we go from Quinn, who had the most powerful Clipper force, opium lord, and he moves into this like now he controls the oil fields. Also, he's like the most powerful baron, and now he's lost his like home. His staple crop, like he's lost the
Yeah,
forge.
absolutely. I mean, Lydia, his baroness, had warned him about this, about
Yeah.
spreading himself too thin. I think it was the last episode or 2 episodes
Right.
ago, where she was really like, "Wow, like you're being stupid right now. Like,
Right.
I'm not."
No, I don't
not
think
down.
I don't think we gave. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I did or you guys did as well, but I don't think we give Lydia enough credit. She literally knows everything.
She knows everything.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
there are some really
She's a smart cookie.
because I wrote down some stuff for last episode too that we didn't even get to, and then this episode she knows, like they are so well informed. I don't know what the spy network situation is going on, but it seems like
pigeons.
everyone knows.
The pigeons.
I guess, man, everyone knows everything. And I even had a moment where it was like, how did Sonny get in touch with what's her face,
Zephyr?
Jacoby's with Zephyr.
Oh,
Like, how did he
Zephyr.
get in touch with Zephyr? Because he's like, I'm gonna go see Zephyr, and then they like pull up on this bridge. I'm like, did you call her? Like, did you shoot Zephyr a text? He's like, hey, meet me at the
Hotline
old-
bling.
meet me at the bridge.
Hotline.
Hotline.
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
Yeah, very
Touche,
efficient.
Alexis. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of inner networking
Right.
things. It's obviously not texting each other, but there's
Sure.
some
that we know
other
of.
network. You know, it
communication.
probably is the pigeons. I mean, they did talk about that. Ryder suggests to his father when they're kind of having a standoff, like, why don't you just send a pigeon or a clipper? Like, this
Right.
job is beneath me. So there is some sort of like other network that they do communicate across, like the different lands, the different Badlands,
Right.
which is cool. I mean, I would love to hear more about that in the sort of folklore, I guess. But with only
Yeah.
6 episodes, they
It's
obviously
hard.
have to pick and choose.
For sure. They're doing a good job of it, though. They're getting the most
They
important
are.
stuff across.
I mean, they're definitely getting the coolest stuff visually.
Yeah.
I mean, the most exciting for me, even though everything sort of is. I mean, even the back stuff. But I
yeah.
mean, speaking the big picture stuff, Sunny starts training MK.
Right,
Which was pretty cool.
It was cool to also just to hear, because Aramis talked about it last week when he was on the show, about how rigorous they're sort of, because they went to a boot camp before they actually
Right.
started filming, and so how rigorous the training was to see him training now with Sunny and then on his own. And I mean, it looked rigorous. Just
Yeah,
I mean,
they actually have
right.
some of the videos from boot camp up on social media. I know that Oliver Stark and I think Aramis as well, they both have the videos, and there's actually a training going on between Ryder and MK with staffs. And it looks really good, so I'm sure we're gonna see that in the next couple
a
episodes.
staff
But-
fight.
very
yeah,
cool.
That'd be
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it was great to see. I mean, as Aramis was talking about last time, like where Daniel Wu is so good that he was actually like training him as they were even up to filming.
Yeah.
So it was great to see that dynamic. It obviously looked. That's exactly how it looked. Like
Yeah.
martial arts training.
Because they probably
Yeah.
actually trained right before
Right.
that, and they were like, all right, let's just roll on this one.
yeah, just
But
Seriously.
he does tell him about focusing, I guess, on the unexpected, and I think it's funny that when Sunny takes him out to use his kind of like force per se,
Right,
he
yes.
doesn't. It's kind of like
He
he
whips
almost
that
doesn't
up.
expect that hit coming towards him, and he gets knocked into the brick wall behind him. So it's kind of like maybe that's, I guess, his unexpected thing.
Oh,
Yeah, that's part
definitely.
of
And,
his-
yeah, and then again when they're in the graveyard and he shows up.
But it's
you know.
not just about force, it's also about being unexpected in a tactful way and tactics and maybe using his size as well to kind of be sneaky and to, and use that in his favor, I guess, because he's the one who saw Tilda, and
Right.
he was all the way
Yeah.
up there.
He did end up doing that. He sort of figured out the conspiracy. The widow is trying to set everyone up, and she's done a really good job of it so far. I'm interested, and I guess they do explain it because he spread his clipper force, but she has so few people with her now, the widow. She lost her entire estate. How were they able to take the fort with sort of a skeleton crew of people that they had? I mean, I know that Sunny wasn't there,
Right,
but that's
and
still a
most
fortified.
of the best clippers weren't there either because they went to the graveyard. I think sort of
Sure,
the A
like-
team goes there, and
Yeah,
they
it was
had,
so
like,
smart. It was so smart.
Yeah,
But I mean, you
dare she.
offer the cogs money and a better life. And I mean, let's be real. Quinn isn't necessarily like the most exciting Baron, I guess, to be with. I guess he would be in like a powerful sense. But I mean, you attract more, with honey?
Oh, you
No?
attract more bees with honey.
Yeah, you attract more
Right,
bees
yeah.
with honey. So that's what she did in a way.
we're all what the proverbs right now.
Yeah, this is great.
It's all-
It's a tribute to the
Adages.
titles, right?
Exactly. 2 tigers.
Old
I
Chinese.
also like that you brought up an insect one because she is a black widow, so she's
Oh,
yeah.
into her web.
Good
kinda.
connection.
Yeah, just drawing them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what she did with the cogs, like where the cogs are
She's
now.
probably just
Yeah.
having them around. Probably.
Just like
Yeah, I mean, just
some
like
house guests
workers. I mean,
for company.
The cogs definitely are, like, for lack of a better word, slaves. So I think that there's a bunch of ways that she can use them. Maybe like
Sure.
elevate them to a little bit higher status where they still, owe something.
So do you think
amount of work.
she's trying to like overhaul the feudal system, or do you think that these are my cogs now? These are
Yeah, I think a bit of that. She probably used them immediately to kind of overthrow the remaining clippers that were there. Just power in numbers was just like, I'll give you guys.
Yeah, it's a buffer,
sure.
All these gold coins, just kill your masters and help us like burn this place
I
down.
don't imagine they'd have much of a problem with
Right.
that.
So yeah, I think that now she's just trying to swoop in on everything she can. Her plan to implement. I mean, we find out later that she may let Ryder kind of be a baron, quote unquote.
That was such a surprise for me.
But
I
think
him so much.
He's so despicable in this
I know.
episode.
Such a prick.
But I mean, I think if she
But
does
I get
allow
him,
that,
though, you
you
know?
get him.
I get it
you
too.
You
Yeah.
understand.
I
Ryder.
understand him though. Look
I
at
mean, he's
just
not
look
that
at Ryder.
complex. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
but I'm serious. Like, think about it. You're not respected by your own father. Your mother just lost all the faith in you,
Yeah.
and even the girl that you're in love with is kind of like, well, we got to cut this short. So he's like, yo, no way. I'm gonna do something with this. Even if I was barren, that's what he said.
No,
Right.
and I'm totally fine with it. It's just also I'm just like, you're such a prick.
I know.
Well, it's. I also don't feel like he has the guns to back up his mouth right now.
Yeah.
You know, as a character, it's like he's like, okay, my dad keeps telling me a man has to take what he wants, and so I'm going to take it. But his way of taking is like, I'm going to undermine everything, and it's just clear that he's just going to mess everything up. And I do not think the widow is going to make him a baron.
Nope.
I mean, do you think Ryder would be a good baron,
Nope.
knowing what we know of him now?
No. However, like the widow wants MK. So
Yeah.
I think she can offer him,
Oh,
the
she'll
throne,
offer him
literally.
whatever he wants.
But then with
Exactly.
MK, I guess it won't really matter, right? Because she has
Yeah.
what she wants. So she could probably overthrow everybody if she wanted.
Oh,
Yeah,
she could
she
kill
will.
Ryder in a second.
And she
that's-
will. I mean, if it
Yeah,
came to
that's what I
that.
said. I'm like,
Yeah.
Ryder's probably either gonna die or get like sorely injured. So I'm okay with this.
Well, yeah, I
Oh.
mean, he's very much so not a threat at all. So I think that she can use him. Like, it's to her best advantage to use him, so that he's kind of disposable at any time.
Yep.
Why not
Or even
try
to
to get what she wants?
Maybe
through?
that unexpected, like, it might even be Ryder who takes down Quinn. You know what I'm saying? He
I
has
mean-
all that ferocity in him. I think.
I just don't want him to be barren. Like, no, honey bunch is a no. I don't want it.
I don't think he will be for long, Alexis. If he ever is Baron, I really don't think it's
The
going to
world
last for
would
long.
end. It would just all
Probably-
end.
Done. No
he'd
more
probably get
Badlands.
killed like in the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at his coronation to
I mean,
baronship.
who would even be there? I feel like even
Now he's lost his whole. I mean, his whole. Unless he's trying to like literally start from scratch, he's
Right.
lost. I mean, there's no cogs left in the fort. Like, what's he gonna do? You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Like, well,
what's
there's no respect there. His own mom doesn't even respect that he's got the
I think
cojones to do
his mom
this.
has
So.
but I feel like the mom has her own issues to deal
True,
with.
For
the
sure.
I mean, the
Yeah.
Baroness,
Some
yeah.
things.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she kills people.
Well, and also,
So-
what? Like, is she okay? Like, we don't know what happened
Yeah.
with her yet,
Yeah,
right?
we don't know what happened with anyone.
Yeah, none of the
Yeah, I mean,
characters
so
we care about.
let's talk about Lydia a little bit. I mean, the scene with her and Jade was again super intense, like we were talking about.
She knows.
She knows.
She
I
knows
mean, like,
all.
She revealed a lot of how smart she was.
Right.
But just
Which she seems to do every episode,
Right.
and I don't know if it's just us or the general audience. She's set up in a position where she can sort of be underestimated, but clearly shouldn't be because she always knows more than we do about what's going on.
And then we
Exactly.
get that little piece also about what happened to Beatrice, so Quinn's second wife. And I mean, that's just saying how she's kind of like, again, maybe even like a Black Widow as well. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
It's like you're not long for this world, Jade. Look out.
seriously.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm coming for you.
I just feel like this whole family's got their own little issues. Because I know
Oh,
every
definitely.
family has issues, but this one's just like on a whole different level, and it's just
Oh,
like,
so
kill
dysfunctional.
everyone.
It's a big stark contrast between Ryder is because he has terrible instincts.
Right.
Like everything he
His
thinks of
awful
is
instincts.
wrong and is like a trap.
Makes the worst plans ever.
Yeah, he gets ambushed. I mean, we're
Exactly,
setting it up
like,
real
all the
high for
time.
him.
And yet he's still so headstrong. He's still so
Right.
sure of himself. Like, oh, I'll get it this time. This time it's going to work. Oh, I have a proposition, Zephyr.
Right.
Like,
And
I
then-
have.
And then even when he was talking to the widow and Zephyr, I was just like, it's a trap. Like it's just clearly.
yeah, and he doesn't seem to get that.
Nope. Not
No.
even a little bit.
Yeah,
No.
not even at all.
No.
Well, but I'm surprised that he still gets I'm surprised that Quinn still trusts him. Like, why did Quinn trust him with this task? You know, is he? I almost wonder if he's testing him to see if he can take it for
No,
himself.
I completely agree with you. I think it's a test. I also
I
think
think-
he's trying to get rid of his son. At the same
Well,
time.
I was gonna
one of
say
the
the
one of
same
the
thing.
other.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit disposable napkin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
type
it's like,
of thing.
well, if they
Disposable
were
napkin.
getting a hit on me, you know,
Disposable napkin.
let's get Ryder instead.
Send him.
Sure. Well, I
Why doesn't
guess.
he go? Why don't you he's still his dad. At the end of the day, like he still wants to be proven wrong. I think, but at the same time, he's not like
It doesn't
putting
look
any eggs in that basket at
Yeah.
all. He's like, okay, well, you can do this job that I could send a pigeon to do.
But what's his
or-
plan
I
if?
think he's trying to since he knows he's dying, he's just doing whatever he wants. So he's like, you know what? I'll let Ryder take this one. That's fine.
Oh yeah. So that's
And
what I'm
if he
wondering.
Dies, he dies.
But I think Quinn doesn't think he's gonna die, especially after like Vale clearly lies to him.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
point too.
But so I think it's more saying like, well, I guess if it were a hit on me, let's just have Ryder take it. Because I don't think Quinn actually. I think he knows that he could die, but I think he still has hope.
I completely agree with
Yeah, it's that self-proclaimed immortality. Yeah, there's a term
megalomaniacal
for it.
kind of personality. You know,
It's
it's
just
just
like,
a megalomaniacal.
I can't die
That's
because
not
I'm
even
awesome.
Sorry, I know. I was like, wait a minute, let me get this right.
I've been awesome for so long. I can't not be awesome into
Right.
the future. Like there's no way I'm gonna die.
my Lanta.
And then
Like-
he gets a hold. Yeah, as soon as someone tells him, there's a good chance that you won't die now, or there's at least an opportunity for you not to die. It's like, oh, well, then I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, no.
But if he does, I don't know. I still would be hesitant to use Ryder in an expendable fashion. Just because if
I don't
did
think
die,
he's
what's gonna
sending him
happen?
out to certain death, but it's also like there's a relationship of challenging each other to like rise
Sure.
to the occasion, and I think that's why he sort of rubs his face in the fact that he's about to like marry his like I guess girlfriend or
Yeah.
Oh, the taste thing that he
whatever.
says,
Ooh, so creepy.
tastes better
Yeah.
or whatever he said. That was so incredibly creepy. Nice
Yeah.
one, Quinn.
So
Just
gross.
saying.
I was just like, huh? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
But
he
it's like rubbing it in
definitely
his
took
face.
it like several feet too far.
Yeah, it
like,
was
for a
definitely too far.
dad
It's
to
like,
do.
like Dad, that would be gross if it wasn't my ex-girlfriend.
Right.
Like that would.
That's just
be
gross on
weird.
all levels.
On
Like,
all levels. I mean, and another like insult that they don't even talk about is how that would make him feel based on the fact that he's cheating on his mom.
Right. Well,
Like-
I mean, I guess is it
he's-
cheating though? Because he's a baron. He can do whatever.
Right. But I mean, it's still.
I mean, he is,
yeah.
but it's because
Kind of
she's
his
she's
fantasy
clearly not
because-
okay with it. But I don't know. It's still. I feel like he can just get away with anything that he wants to, and that is what the Badlands represents. It's this place. Like this final frontier sort of thing where the people that can take the power can take it and can do whatever they want with
Right.
it. And they're not
Yeah.
wrong, like because no one's there to tell them that they're wrong.
And that's
Exactly.
so
I mean, they're
evident.
kind of above the law, so they can write their own rules.
But that's also so evident when they have the widow Zephyr and and Ryder all together. It's like, well, there are no rules, literally, because Zephyr wants to take down Jacoby, and it's just like anything goes here, So it's so evident in that in one of those final scenes.
Why does Zephyr want to take down Jacoby? It looks like Jacoby. I mean, from an outside looking in, it looks like he takes care of her to a point. I mean, I have no idea, but
Just a power trip.
Right, I mean, yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
always
'cause
you want to be on top, like you want to be king,
You want to
even
be
like
on top? Sorry.
Very nice, very nice.
I'm so
Ew.
sorry. I'm sorry. I ANTM'd it.
No, you don't have to cut it short. You can keep going.
Just let it flow,
Yeah.
let it flow, man.
Anyway,
But yeah, I mean, I was very surprised at the sort of double crossing happening, like how many people's backs were being stabbed. But
no, so many knives everywhere.
yeah, Zephyr.
Yeah.
I mean, I
no
was.
pun intended.
Yeah, lots of pun intended. Yeah, I mean, literally like backstabbing, and I mean, I'd love to talk about. I know we're skipping ahead of some stuff, but I'd love to talk about sort of the final fight scene sort of deal, where like it's literally
graveyard scene.
Yeah, how much information can we find out through a fight scene in one like little moment of time? Like, oh, this was a setup. Oh, the widow's trying to turn these people against each other. Oh, it's working. Oh, MK's here. Oh, that's strange. When did he get here? And then all of a sudden, like, okay, Zephyr somehow wants to seize power from Jacoby. Like that was in there somehow.
Right.
I'm like,
Well,
are these,
yeah,
these
that
guys are
came-
like really
that came at the-
close.
Guys, I have to agree with Taylor. I'm like, how did MK get there so fast that he actually got there before they did?
Yeah, he was like
And there were
there
horses.
when they showed up. I don't know. It's
He's
his.
very, maybe he cut himself.
He's
and
very
did, like, a
crafty.
Steve dash.
Very funny.
Cut and run.
But no, I don't know. I was sitting there going, okay, 1, this is an awesome set. 2, why is he there before they are? 3, I love this scene.
Right.
Yeah, it was a
So
really
cool.
cool
It
fight
was like
scene.
10 minutes long, but we got like at least like an episode worth of information, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a little surprised when they did start actually like breaking out into a fight, when clearly it was a setup.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, it's like, okay, this pickaxe came out of nowhere from really far away, aimed at Quinn.
Right. So,
like,
shouldn't Jacoby's
shouldn't
forces
'cause-
say like, "Hey, that wasn't us"?
Exactly, they know.
Stop
Like,
fighting.
Jacoby
You
knows
guys,
that he didn't
that
do
is
that.
not how this world works. We know that already.
Well, yeah, no,
It's shoot now or
Ask questions
sorry,
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
That's a fair point.
Quinn and his Clippers were the first to draw, but I still
Right.
would have. I would have if I was Jacoby.
I would have said something.
I would have
I would've
drawn,
been
but I
like,
would have been like,
that
whoa,
was
whoa, whoa.
us. Yeah.
Cool it, bro. Like
We
that
did
wasn't
not
me.
throw pickaxes. We don't do that.
And then we
That's
wouldn't
not our.
have the
That's not our
show.
weapon.
Yeah, it's not our thing.
Well, but maybe it is
communication
though, because wait, they got the pickaxe revelations in real time. They got the pickaxe from Jacoby's transport.
Right, yeah.
I bet he does mine gold. I bet that's his deal. He mines
Ooh,
gold and
yeah.
mints it, and there was a pickaxe in there. They kill the guy with
Right.
the pickaxe. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
They probably thought it was Quinn, because technically they thought Quinn was the one that hit up.
Yeah, but it was very clearly aimed at Quinn.
Yeah, it was aimed
you
at-
I know,
know?
which, that's why it doesn't make sense to me, because I was like, why are you
Right.
guys fighting?
Yeah.
It's your pickaxe, and he's here to make treat. What?
I feel like
Yeah.
one of Jacoby's guys. Well, they kind of had the upper hand though
I
for a
completely
while,
agree.
but I
I
feel like
just-
they would have said,
There's something not. I don't know.
yeah. But anyways, it doesn't change the fact that it was a really cool scene.
super cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everyone's dead at the end, and it's like, oh wait, you guys, we've been set up.
And it's like, well, now
Wait a minute, a little too late, Sonny.
With
Right,
only
I
the key
just-
characters remaining. Everyone
could have
else
been
is dead.
great info 5 minutes ago.
Thank you for. But it's almost like no one bats an eye. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's all like,
Life
oh,
is expendable.
well, moving on. You know, yeah, totally. Life
Yeah,
is expendable
It's
in this
super
world.
expendable,
Yep, kill
which
or be
is
killed.
which is. I mean, you would think that at least in this situation, because resources. I mean, people are resources here. Like the cogs are a precious. I don't know if I would say natural, but they're a precious resource, like human, like manpower.
Right.
The clippers are
Well,
too.
You get shipments of them. They're like a
yeah, and especially
You order them on Amazon.
Exactly, right?
Amazon Prime.
Right,
2
well, it's
days.
what I've been doing too much of since Cyber Monday. And it's also 12 days of Amazon right now. This is not an Amazon ad. I've never worked for Amazon. Yeah, you have the manpower. That's a commodity at this point. It's a resource that you have. I would think that especially for Quinn at this point, clippers are very precious to him because he's spread out and he doesn't yet know that the fort's been attacked, but he does know that he's trying to man the oil fields and his poppy fields with his like skeleton clipper force that he has. And I would be a little bit more concerned about unnecessary loss of life at this
Yeah,
point
but
if I were him.
But because Quinn is not thinking straight, because he just thinks, I'm going to die, I'm just going to take what I can get right now.
Yeah.
He's probably like, who cares?
Yeah, I
Well,
feel like
Which sucks.
And that's the same thing Sonny says later. He's like, he's not thinking straight, and that's when Vale and Sonny all know that it's like, oh, he has a tumor, and it's like everybody's on the same page finally.
Yeah.
right.
I
Right.
know, it's crazy right now.
Do
We're
we-
only on
yeah.
episode 4, guys.
What do we think? I mean,
It's intense. Yeah.
do we think that he's gonna die? I mean,
Quinn?
it seems like
This
he will,
season?
but
I don't know about this season, but I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
He's out.
we're getting close to that. There's not
Yeah.
that many Clippers left.
I feel like he's gonna be sick for a while before he might just get killed. It's kind of I honestly think that as things are right now, he might get killed before he dies
Well,
of his tumor.
I think that's why he's playing so hard and loose. You
Yeah.
know, or fast and loose, I guess.
Hard,
What,
fast,
it's
loose.
everything. It's
Just
everything.
all of the-
All of
He's
those
just all
things.
over the map. He's all over
really
free.
using all of them today.
But because he doesn't care. He knows that he has a few months to live. Like, why not try to go for gold?
Yeah, how
and
far
get
out is
everything?
the winter solstice exactly? Do we know?
I don't know,
I don't
but
know what time of year it is.
Aramis was saying that it's a couple months or like a
Yeah.
month and a half of time.
Okay, so this is like autumn. This is
Right.
like autumn in the Badlands. That's
Seems
cool.
that-
yeah,
yeah.
I think
Even
I
though
remember
everyone's
some
sweating.
leaves.
Well,
Same.
I mean, they're in the south, so I'm
Yes.
assuming it's just hot.
It,
Sure.
it
It's
looks like it's
humid no matter
unbearably
what.
hot there. Yes.
Yeah, because I think poppy fields only come out in like the fall and like winter. I think I don't think they're blooming. In
Oh, look at
Right.
this.
Summer and
Well, no, I mean
That's our horticultural
Is
fact
it?
of the episode right
I
there.
don't
search
know.
it.
Don't quote me.
Okay. I was gonna say springtime because then it would give him like maybe
That's what I
6
thought.
months to
Mhm.
live.
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you were given just like 6 months or just less than a year, I feel like is enough to be like, okay, well, let's go.
Yeah, very limited
like
time.
live every day like it was your last because it's kind of is.
You'll never see another spring. You'll never see another.
Yeah.
You'll never see another poppy bloom.
Man, these phrases. Sorry.
It's heart wrenching, except that it's Quinn, so we don't
It's
really
not
feel
that
bad for
wrenching.
him.
But I mean, everybody kind of acts that way. It's a very like old school sort of life is expendable, as you were saying. Even Sonny had no qualms with facing off against Zephyr, who he used to be like romantic with.
Right.
Right,
No,
but
yeah.
loyalties to the Baron, so that made sense.
Sure.
Right, but I mean to just not even think about like have no hold back whatsoever, but like a former. An ex, I guess.
Right.
Can't have gone that bad.
Well, I actually love this interesting sort of, just if we're going to get philosophical here, like you think about the doctors that were killed and how upset people were over that, and like how much love they sort of got as a response for that, like how much grief there was that they died, particularly Vale. I mean, you know, they had someone who loved them, and we had to deal with the fact that they died for a while after they died, but yet they're like lower in society than, say, these Clippers that die in the final scene, and yet we will never hear about them again. You know what I mean? They have no sort of lingering people that care for them.
Yeah, but there's
in an
thousands of
individual way.
Clippers. There's probably only a couple doctors.
Well, but it's not even about the fact that they're doctors. It's about the fact that they had a family. They had people that were left behind that cared. You know what I mean? And it's just again, like, this is a philosophical sort of tangent, but like, maybe it's not so bad to be a cog in that respect, because they can have a family and they can have some sort of legacy or some sort of purpose.
Can they though? I don't know if cogs can. I mean,
well, yeah, they're cogs.
Yeah.
Vale is a cog. Well, I know that
Really?
she's sort of a special circumstance because she was given to the doctor people. But I mean, here's the thing: just looking at like a feudal system,
Right.
If I were a baron, I would definitely want them to have families, because again, these are my resource. Like, procreate. I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
I want as many cogs as I can get.
Right.
So if my cogs are gonna just create more cogs, awesome. That's great. More cogs, totally cool. But again, I see how you wouldn't want your Clippers to, because then they get attached, and it becomes going to war becomes sort of this more like emotional.
They're no longer going to give up
psychological
their
thing.
life for you.
Exactly. They have something that comes before you. So that's why you guys are my family. Like, we're family. Like, we will go fight for each other. We will care about each other first. But yet, when you die, like you're gone from our memories. We will never know the names of the Clippers that died in that final scene, but yet they're somehow ahead or higher in society than these two doctor cogs that died, and we still hear about them.
Well, yeah, I don't necessarily think it's that far. I mean, I agree
Sure.
that we didn't see any remorse.
I'm just saying, I
But-
think it's cool. I just think that it's kind of a cool thought experiment where, like, the cogs have more personality than the Clippers do, you know, and yet they're considered lower in society.
I just feel
Right.
like it's because the cogs have a more of a personality because they get to do other things. Clippers,
Sure. Yeah,
they get a little bit of freedom.
Like, yeah, the Clippers
Yeah.
and Colts and whatever you want to call it, they have to literally be a soldier. I'm
Right.
not
Yeah.
saying that soldiers don't have personalities, but in the land that we're living
Yeah, in the
I
land
feel
that we're
like
living in.
it just doesn't work. Also, I did a little bit of research while you guys were ranting.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
They mostly bloom in the spring and the summer, so you're supposed to start planting around fall.
Okay.
So technically, depending on where we are, we could be in full bloom, so probably mid-spring. Summer.
Interesting.
Mid-spring, summer. So we
So you still got like 6 months left.
we are
maybe.
looking at like 6 months before Quinn actually kicks the bucket, but I'm sure he'll get sick before that
Right.
and
Yeah.
start to
And be,
deteriorate
yeah.
before
Seems like
that.
Yeah,
Vale's
that's a
trying
picture.
to start him on some like weird like chemotherapy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Oh,
not
I think she's trying to
chemo.
poison him.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, I think
Well, no,
she's
I mean,
trying to poison him.
she is so smart. I mean,
I would have never thought of that.
the biggest thing
Brilliant.
that I can see from like the being a cog argument is that you have the ability to go to school.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, she is such a smart person.
Right.
That she was able to figure out a way, like knowing that he was going to kill her if she said, like, well, there's nothing I can do. So she
Right.
kind of made up something else, like let him along.
Right. And I mean, she knows how to read. Like, the Clippers
Right.
don't know how to read. Sonny's trying to figure it out. But I'm going to say, just in general, I don't think Clippers know how to read.
I'm hoping. Sorry, Maria. Before I didn't mean to interrupt, but I really hope because Vale and Sunny have been together. I don't know for how long, but I'm hoping because she knows how to read. She's really smart. Maybe she even knows how to defend herself. So if Quinn tried to do anything, or if they tried to come
Ooh.
after her because she's, pregnant or whatever, that she might be able to defend herself because she's with Sunny. That
Sure.
would be
Like, Sonny's
interesting.
taught her a few moves.
Mhm.
That could be very
Like
cool.
Yeah.
survive,
Mhm.
just in case if anything happened.
I think
That's
we're going to
pretty
see
likely.
her. I predict that we're going to see her in some survival situations within the next
yeah.
2 episodes. Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah, I mean, just having
'cause-
those one-on-one conversations with Quinn is such a high danger situation.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
we also don't know what happened to her, right? Since the fort was taken.
Yeah, we don't know.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't
Oh, she
know.
doesn't live inside
No,
the
they're
fort, though.
outside. Yeah, I think they're outside.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that
fort.
town is not directly outside the fort. Is that right?
Right. I think that's
don't-
like
I
a
just don't-
neutral zone.
I just don't understand where that town is.
Right.
They just go there sometimes, and I
It's-
don't
it's a
understand its
little hard to-
proximity.
yeah, we need the map and
Yeah, I know,
Oh,
I know.
God. Just rip off
But
Game of
also, you
Thrones.
guys,
Oh.
going back to how Vale can actually read. When she opens that book, there's a cutout of the compass in there. So Sunny has that
Okay, I'm
compass.
glad
Right.
that I'm not the only one.
Okay, you yeah.
noticed, right?
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, I saw that.
Yeah.
So there's like this weird connection because now Sunny has the compass. I know he picked it up from someone who was on the floor dead. But this is just how it kind of goes, and revolves, and we still don't know what's in there.
Where does the compass point? Like, it seems like you would just, if you wanted to get out of the Badlands, you just follow the compass, right?
Right.
Well, if you want to get out of the Badlands, you talk to that River King.
You talk to the River King, and you bring him the most. I thought it was such a cool little reference.
Yeah,
it's the army dude.
It's the best token ever.
Army dude that's carrying his rifle across the river.
And it is the
genius.
first time we see a gun or some sort
Yes.
of gunpowder
Bringing that
thing
up.
Yes.
in this show. So
Yeah.
that is awesome. It's just kind of like very, very symbolic.
And that's why I really
Right.
want them to start showing the history of why there's no guns and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and what happened? Like, why are we now in a feudal society?
Yeah,
in a
'cause
sense?
didn't the riverman who was on the boat where they were going to, it looked like not a naval ship, but it looked like something that you could have used.
It looked
for something.
Was it like a? It looked almost like a yacht or like a ferry boat. It was like
Yeah, like
I'm gonna say
like a motorboat.
I think
speedboat thing.
I think it's the Mississippi River. I think that's where they are. I'm just
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah,
I'm not
what's
sure.
interesting is when he was Sonny was talking to Waldo sort of about this whole situation. He was saying that they trust the River King because he kind of protects the trade routes. So I wonder if there is some like outside of the Badlands that there is like some communication,
Right.
but it's just not known on unless you're a baron.
Not only does he protect the trade routes, but he doesn't. Nothing goes past him
right.
unless
Right.
it's
He
like
controls the trade
explicitly accepted by him. So he controls what goes up and down.
I'm gonna say
Where
that
does it go?
I'm gonna say that it has to go somewhere because think about like the opium bricks that Quinn's making. Who buys those? It's not just going to other barons. Quinn's not just smoking all the opium themselves. The cogs
But
aren't
we don't
buying
know.
them.
We don't know.
We don't know. Well, I guess. Who knows?
Jacoby's up there took it up.
What about the gold too? Like, what is all? I mean, that currency can't just be just for the battle.
It's not for it's not for the cogs clearly because they were bought off with one gold piece, so it's not like they get paid gold.
Right.
It's for something. It's for someone else. So I don't know. I'm starting to think that they're producing all of these goods and
Also-
shipping them away somewhere for some
Did you guys
reason.
notice when Tilda was holding the snow globe and the record as well? Like, where do those things come from? That was like a Hawaiian like snow globe thing, which I was like, what? And like, and then
Yeah.
the record and how
A lot of
they danced, I never-
artifacts. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I would love to sort of see what happened. I mean, why don't they have any more music or art
loved
pieces?
it.
Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
no
maybe it was
instruments.
destroyed.
I've seen no instruments, no people like trying to make music in any way,
Right.
shape, or form.
That's what's crazy to me is because they were like the girls who were in the lady clippers, I guess if you want to call it that way.
The butterflies.
Yeah, the
Butterflies.
butterflies. They were so taken aback by listening to this thing, and they were just like, "Oh, what is this?" And I'm like, "They don't know what
You
music
move
is."
to it.
Yeah.
You move and you dance.
You wave your hands in the air.
Yeah. Well, they kind of picked it up naturally. I mean,
Yeah.
they were jamming out to that.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to do that. But I was just saying that's how I feel about it. Is that it's very interesting that we have all these things,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know where they're coming from.
I hope that, and maybe I should predict, since I don't know if it's like if we're going to do predictions formally or not, but that at the end of this season, so at the end of the 6 episodes, we will learn at least. I hope it's either what happened. I think that we may or may not learn what happened, but we will know for sure what's beyond the Badlands, or at least something that's beyond the
Well,
Badlands.
at one point, Waldo says you have to go through the wasteland. So there's that.
Ooh,
Sure.
maybe season 2 into the
Yeah.
wasteland.
Yeah, into the wasteland.
Into the wasteland.
Well, here's the thing. I also like bringing up the title. I do not think it would be called Into the Badlands if there wasn't something outside of the Badlands.
Right.
I think it would just be called Badlands. You know.
No, but at this point, we there's stuff out there.
Yeah.
For sure.
But what?
Right.
I want to know what, and I
know.
want to know now.
I know. I'm so curious. I mean, there's so many different like breadcrumbs, I guess,
Yeah.
that they're throwing out there. That like if it is such a hard road, it can't be like Azra is right outside of the Badlands.
Sure, you would be able to see it. In
You know
the
what?
sky.
At one
It's
point,
gonna be a journey.
and
Yeah.
at one point, MK he says like, "This will show us the way out of the Badlands," and Sonny's like, "Hold up, you don't know how to get out of the Badlands? I thought this was like the whole thing is that you know how to get out of the Badlands."
Right.
Right.
So that scene for me, just when he says like, "I trusted you," to me just shows how much Sonny's putting faith into getting out of this place.
Right.
But
Yeah.
also the fact that he like doesn't understand that MK's still a kid, you know, and he can still make mistakes, and there's just so much. It's so heavy on his shoulders.
How did MK get here? Because if
Yeah, well, he was in the shipment of slaves.
But, like,
Yeah.
how
Killed
far-
everybody.
Which totally
where did those come
complicates-
from?
Exactly. Yeah, I was about to say, like, where did they come from?
Yeah.
Probably not the Badlands.
It's not the Badlands. It's
Yeah,
somewhere
They
else.
have to be importing these children, teenagers,
Yeah, the
whatever, from
cogs.
somewhere. If
Yeah.
they're not having babies all over the Badlands, I guess, or something. Because I'm like, where are all these people coming from?
Are the
Also,
Badlands-
He, like, killed everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But are the Badlands just this like just these like groups of people who are making stuff for some other entity? And if that's the case, don't you think that other entity is going to get pretty pissed off when all of a sudden like the oil isn't coming, the poppies aren't coming, and like this trade is being disrupted by the widow and everything? Like there's going to be some sort of intervention, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, I want to get into predictions.
It's getting
since I know
heavy.
We're getting into a lot of stuff here.
All right.
So.
Totally, yeah.
Let's see a light show.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV prediction.
All right, I mean, all of this prediction talk leading up to the pre-prediction talk I'm going to go bold right now. I think outside the Badlands, or maybe Azra is like a modern city. Like that is like super advanced. They have like actual laws and like a government maybe. And you know, outside like the Badlands, maybe like a North Korea type of situation where it's just completely cut off from the world, and they, you know, keep it in the past without all these things intentionally to like control people on a different level.
Yeah. Do you think? Do you think that it's sort of like a Hunger Games scenario where it's like the Azra is like the capital and they need?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're necessarily like watching them, like sort of like
Probably not.
You know, testing them
But like,
as much.
have like each baronship, like these Badlands are responsible for. You will provide these crops for the capital. Like you will do these services, much like
yeah,
you
I
know,
think
District
it's
12 was like coal.
more similar to that. It's like, you know, we'll let you do this and operate this way, but you know, that's how we need that gold, we need that oil, we need the poppies.
Gold, oil, and opium right
Yeah.
now are the things that they need.
Yes, the three essentials.
Yeah,
for
exactly. The
life.
Coffee,
trifecta.
gold, and oil. Good to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump onto the fact of how we were talking about how MK got to the Badlands and everything. I think that at least for there's so many young boys that I'm noticing a lot in, at least maybe just the fort, but I'm just noticing there's even in Jacoby's kind of group, there was some young men or just younger adults or whatever you want to put it. I think the boat that we saw him in was prisoners from Azra that have done bad things, so why don't you send them to the Badlands?
Ooh.
And then
So the
they have to
Badlands is
fight-
for bad people.
I mean, not for bad people, because obviously there's women there, but I mean, yeah, I feel like there's obviously people who started there, but they're probably of poverty, so they're like, oh, so
Interesting.
anyone who's from that rich part of town could just be sent to the Badlands because of your whatever crime you've committed,
Right.
or felony, and then you have to just survive.
That'd be crazy. It's like how Australia used to be, like way long ago. It used to be like a prison island.
Actually, I think that's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think
it's
that's really
like
smart.
if you have like San Francisco and then you have Alcatraz.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. But that's what I
Send
thought,
the
and
prisoners-
that's why he
prisoners to
pretty
the
much
Badlands.
killed all the prisoners for that last shipment, and he was the only one left.
Ooh.
Well, 'cause of
that
his
would
force.
add up.
Yeah, because of maybe
Yeah.
someone
Awesome
probably got into a
theory.
fight, prison fight, whatever.
Yeah.
And inmate
He
fight,
stubbed
and
his
then
toe in it.
Yeah, and then
like-
blood,
Yeah.
and
he
then
got
everyone
seasick,
died.
and it just all went to hell from there.
Yeah.
Well, I think things are going to get very complicated for Sonny because he's faced with a huge, monumental choice right now between taking Vale out of there and what to do with MK.
What do you guys think?
I think initially he's going to choose against MK and leaving him behind.
Oh, really?
That's what I think.
I disagree. I don't think he'll do that. I think that'll be a big dilemma, but I think he's invested too much in MK at this point. You know, because their relationship is such a crutch, I think, in the series that it's going to be really hard for him to do that.
I think it's going to be initially he's going to choose not to, and then it's going to be like, you know, kind of a turn again.
Yeah.
So there's going to be another turn, and he's going to come back for him, or, you know, take him with him.
I could totally see him like pretending to betray MK
Right.
Or
to exploit the River Lord or something.
See, I'm on the opposite. I feel
Ooh,
like
you think he's just gonna be like, boom,
no,
let's
that's
kill
what I
him.
said. It's gonna be like I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen, but the craziest twist that I can think of is that he will be on MK's side the whole time, and he's like, I'm gonna defend you, and then last minute, like
He's just gonna be
He's
like,
gonna dump him.
slice.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and then dead. I mean, I love Game of
Man,
Thrones,
that's
so maybe that's why
crazy.
I'm thinking of just like, oh my god. But I mean,
And then, I just had a little like, flash in my head. Maybe when he does, like, let's say what Alexis is saying happens, right? And he dumps him, and then that's when his force might be able to come out, but without having to bleed. Maybe he can start controlling it, you know?
Oh, interesting.
Ooh, and then lash
Very
out and
cool.
kill everyone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Ooh, I mean, I love that theory. I, for one, don't think so, just because he has a connection to Azra finding that compass, and I think he wants to see that through. Plus, he's just a genuinely nice guy. Like, he wants to start a family, and he's in love with his fiance, I guess. I don't think he's proposed yet, but unofficial.
Unofficial fiance.
And they're of the sort of parent-child relationships. There were 3 this episode that were big. Lydia and Jade. Jade tried to do that. Did not work out. It was a very negative, not happening situation. And the flip side of that was Sunny and MK. Like, that really worked.
Right.
Again, they kind of reinforced the negative aspect with Ryder and Quinn, which, it's definitely not working, and they are, like, actual father-son.
The only ones that are actually by blood, and it's like that's the one that really doesn't work.
Exactly.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the apprenticeships definitely do work. I mean, Sonny still looks up to Waldo. He still can trust him with this whole, like, the thing he's never told anybody, I want to escape. And Waldo can, they can relate on that level. Like, I guess that shows that the bond between, apprentice and master is sort of the strongest.
It's very strong in this world. It has to be, I think. Very interesting. I have one brief prediction, but I know we have to sign off, but I'll just say it very quickly. And Alexis, this is kind of connects to your thing, but I predict that MK is not welcome in Azra.
Ooh, whoa.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
His power is just not gonna work. It's just not gonna help him.
I think maybe his power is why he got kicked out of Azra.
Yep, I agree. I bet you he did something like he got cut, or maybe they were experimenting.
And maybe they don't even know what the power is. It's not like people from Azra have this power.
No, I think that they I want to piggyback off of that, where they were probably trying to make like a super soldier. Didn't work out. They're like, we need to get rid of it. We need to get rid of it. Send it to the Badlands.
We made a mistake.
Yeah, like, oh no.
Very cool.
And then they just said, they're like, I'll just kill everyone in the Badlands. Nobody likes them.
It's the abomination.
Very interesting.
That kind of thing. I don't know. I'm so excited. We have 2 more episodes.
I know. Oh my god, I have so many questions. There's so many answers left.
Yes, a lot of things need to be answered.
Including the titles. Who are the tigers? Who are the dragons?
We didn't even get to that, but there's still time.
It's
I think
dragon,
totally.
Guys.
Next week,
Double Dragon. Yeah.
You'll have to tune back in next week to see what we think about the animal metaphors.
Fans, please tweet at us. Write in the comments like what you guys think. Who are each of these animals? I mean, there's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of metaphors. There's a lot of everything.
Tweet us. I'd love to hear your theories. I'm sure all of us.
Yeah, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Tayboldt. That's TAYBOLDT, or on Instagram at Tboldt, also BOLDT.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at MGCVSST.
Nice. Alexis, where can they find you?
You can find me all over social media as atorres890. Don't forget to check out all our other channels here, Books That Go Online, Popcorn Talk, and Black Hollywood Live. Also, check out my vlog, because I'm going to hit my 100th vlog soon, so I'm going to do a Q&A and all this other cool
Congrats. Nice. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
100. Hello. Awesome. Well, yeah, fans, don't forget to hashtag ABTV into the Badlands. I'm JB. You can follow me at Hey John Blake. See you guys next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.